Here we go. Can you guys hear me? Am I live? I'm not supposed to be live. I'm supposed to have like a little thing on there that says that I'm coming in, I don't know, a few minutes or something. But anyways, can you guys hear me? Am I live? Um, all right, from Hawaii and stuff. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me check the. It's so crazy. Oh, there we go. I shut the thing there. What does this thing do? Are you sure you want to remove the broadcast alert? Yes. Remove it. I supposedly had a broadcast alert, but it didn't. It didn't work. So I have no idea how this thing works. Let's see. Who's here? I won't be able to listen to most of the chat. Got a meeting, but you have inspired me to start making my own modules and have thought about recording it as well. What do you think? Yes, record it. Make sure you join the DIY Powerwall group in Facebook. There's like 1,300, 1,500 members now. It's a growing community. It's crazy. That's something that started as a crazy idea. Now it's like huge. There's tons of you guys out there doing this stuff. Lots of you know more than me about this now because where I'm still stuck with my project, you guys are now finishing and using your projects. So let's see here. Let me close this other page so I can read your messages here. Wow, there's 74 of you guys, 75 of you watching now. Welcome everyone. And this is just a general live Q&A. We can talk about anything you guys want. The trending topics currently are BMS because I uploaded a video just, what was it, yesterday? Or I don't know, just within the last 10 hours, I think, that talked about BMS. And there's a lot of people still saying, they even have questions about what's a BMS. Or there's those people that are online that says that you cannot do anything without a BMS, which I've always challenged. Not only through the comments and stuff, but actually in real life by actually building a car without a BMS and using it now for 3 years. And so those are the topics that are going right now. I also got some criticism for not tearing down the Tesla charger, which was not mine, and it's kind of an expensive piece of equipment that is in perfect working order, and we're gonna get that running. So it didn't make sense for us to kind of just tear it apart. I just kind of want to see what was inside of it, if we can recognize some of the components. As you guys know, I'm not I'm not really well versed in electronics. I know some basics. I can recognize some components here and there. I know what makes up a typical charger because I actually attempted to build one 2-3 years ago, and I was kind of unsuccessful. But yeah, there are obviously people that would do a better job than me at tearing down one of those products. But the thing is that I have access to them, and so in fact, there's another YouTuber that just today announced, sent me a message that he was gonna send me a couple things from a Chevy Volt. I think a charger and a DC to DC. So we'll have those, and we'll be able to take them apart. And since we don't have plans for those, I could totally take those apart and show you guys what's in there. But let's see what we got here as far as comments here. Wow. 85 of you watching. Wow, there's a lot of you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the holidays. I know that a lot of people have this week off. I know my wife does, and she's running around. And I actually don't have it off. I actually need to be doing work right now, but I thought, well, what the hell, It's like, what can I do instead of working today? And it's either doing a video, a live thing like this, or I finally got all the parts to do the DIY electric skateboard, which is an electric car, a miniature electric car, right? And so I got to start that project. We finally got all the parts, and I guess I could do that. Or I guess I could actually work and ship all the packages and orders from B&H and Amazon and stuff, right? Uh, but I guess I can do that after we finish this little chat here with you guys. Hey, no complaining. We are live. This is Wayne, and he might be complaining because he wants to go and play outside. Let's see. Michael says, I got an email. You are live now. Yes, so I think that's how you guys get notified that I'm live. Hey, trying to get my friend to convert his classic car into electric. Where do you get the parts to do that? He's asking. Avery Flynn is asking. Just contact Michael at evwest.com. He is carrying all the parts that you need to make pretty much any conversion. Hey, come on, no fighting. These guys are just wrestling over there. Michael carries pretty much anything that you would ever need to do pretty much any size vehicle. Maybe like a huge conversion, like a huge truck or something. Our kids are. I mean, no, he has access to everything, like 100 kilowatt systems, 150 kilowatt systems. They're just, really expensive when you get to that point. But yeah, pretty much any other like car from 3,000 pounds and down, he's got the stuff. Those AC50 motors that we use are, hey, no noise. Those work, and we kind of got them down to science and stuff. And everything's there. Oh man, I hope those guys are not too annoying. They're just wrestling with each other. That's all they do all day long. It's the good thing about having two dogs. Let's see here. All right. Broadcast warning worked. Oh, it did? I just couldn't see it here. I thought this thing would show me the actual thing that was going, but I guess not. Give a link, please. Oh, a link to what? Sleepy Z's? What do you guys want to link to? Couldn't you make a plug and play power wall? Yeah, that's very, very possible. I just don't really have. I just don't have. That's not what I want to do. I'm trying to get out of selling products. It's just one of those things, right? I'd rather give you guys all the information and put the links and stuff and, kind of help you connect you guys to whoever you need to get the parts from and stuff. Because carrying parts, it just requires too much money and inventory and all that stuff. I don't have a warehouse anymore. I kind of given all that up. I want to concentrate on making the videos and stuff. And so, even though it makes money and I know how to make money and I know how that whole thing works, I want to move on from that. And so there are people like Michael that will do that, but of course he also just wants to do the car components. He's not necessarily interested in doing all these, Powerwall stuff and the solar stuff. That's just that's not what he's interested in stuff. So, and he's going as fast as he can, as you guys saw in those last few videos. He's super busy. There's so much stuff happening there that it's oh, someone says that the mic is not working. Can you guys hear me? Let's see. I know that the battery was kind of low, but let me see. Let me check. No, the thing is good. I see the levels there that are working. I don't know what that guy was talking about. Mister, I don't know what you're talking about. El micrófono sirve. Let's see. What else do we got? I just watched your last video. What was the good one? Oh, that was a good one. Can't wait to see the black BW running. Actually, the BW Baja Bug is running. At the day we left, the very next day, Michael got it running, and there's actually video on his just a short little clip on his Instagram. Yeah, I'm dying to see it. You watch all this work going into it, and I wasn't really a fan of Baja Bugs to begin with, right at the beginning. But the more you stand and look at that thing, you're like, holy crap, that thing is awesome. And so it'd be cool to record that, and I want to make a full video about it. You know, that's a very, very interesting project and stuff. And so hopefully, maybe this week's short, and then we have all the holidays in between, so it's gonna be hard. But maybe next week we'll get to do that. Let's see. Do you have a like or subscribe or target before giving away the Phantom 4? I didn't. Originally, I didn't. I said in about a week I'll give it away. Right? It's been 3 weeks. So as it turns out, it's really not getting that many views, that video. But I think as soon as it hits like around 10,000, which is gonna be like at the end of this week or something, I'll give it away. So I think it's coming at the end of this week. It's just, it's a lot of money that I spent on there, and I could have resold that. And so I thought, oh, I'll give it away. You know, it'll work out and stuff. But it's just very slow. I'm very surprised at some other videos that have less incentive for people to watch and stuff. I get way more views. And so, yeah, it is what it is. We'll announce the winner kind of at the end of this week. Let's see. I have watched you put together those huge battery packs. This is from Matthew Bryant. It seems that it would be tough to replace individual bad cells. You just leave them in place as they go. Yeah, the thing is that in our experience, in my experiences, cells don't really go bad. Like individual cells don't really go bad if you run them correctly, right? And so the systems that I'm designing, I don't expect too many of those cells to go bad. I know they are towards the end of their life, so they might, in a few months or in a year or whatever. But usually those don't go like that, so I don't expect that to be a huge issue. If one cell were to go bad, it wouldn't you wouldn't want to change it right away because it's not worth it. It's just you would lose like 2 amp hours, right, or whatever each individual cell is. So, yeah, it's like again this group of people, this community that are making the DIY Tesla walls are going to be more prepared to answer those kind of questions because I actually have walls that are working where I don't. Mine, it was just an idea. The thing that I built is in the wall there, but it's not working. I haven't plugged it in because I just haven't had the time or the money or to buy the equipment that I needed. As you guys know, I bought 2 UPSs that I wanted to convert and kind of use them for there, but they didn't work. They were from the same guy, and they seemed to both be bad in the exact same way, both of them, right? And so I just haven't had the money to order some more, and I really haven't had the time to mess with that one project. I need to, there's priorities, and one of the priorities is that I want to get to the point where I can make a living doing these videos, and so you kind of have to strategize as to what's the best way to do that. And I know projects it's a good way, right? Because a lot of you guys are interested in that would mean views and new subscribers and all that stuff, but it also requires money to invest into those projects, and I just don't have it at the moment. And so as soon as this thing starts rolling out, I think I'll be able to do more of these projects. I'll not just like projects that are moving slowly, and I'm like jumping from project to project, but maybe at one point I'll be able to take a project and from start to finish, which would make better videos. I do agree with you guys that those would make better videos, but I do what I can, That's where I'm at the moment. Let's see here. If you like, can you tell us your qualifications, experience, new to the channel, and a fan? I don't have any. I'm a carpenter by trade, and I just like to mess around with stuff, and I like to experiment and tinker with stuff. And I made my own electric car, and I do a lot of DIY projects. But yeah, I don't really not qualified. I don't have any formal training in any of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm just kind of self-taught, and yeah, I like to share the little bit of the knowledge that I know. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh man, you guys have a lot of a lot of questions. I'm gonna have to skip some in here because, oh my god, you guys are typing so easy. You know, there's a button here that I just saw right now. Oh, there's 90 of you watching, by the way, which limits the speed at which you guys can type the comments. And I thought, oh, should I click on that? But I'm like, no. But I think this is the reason why they put that is there. It's just because you guys go so much more quicker than I can talk. I guess I can talk a lot or something. Let's see. I'm interested to see the DIY electric skateboard. Yeah, the electric skateboard is happening. Maybe as soon as I stop doing this thing, then we'll go over there. EV West, yay. Saw the catalog. How many of those 18650 Tesla modules would something like the Samba? The Samba has 44 kilowatt hours. So that is, what? Okay, there's three kilowatts per module. So what is that? 14 or 16, something like that. That is my plan. I actually want to make the Samba have only the Tesla modules because right now I have the lithium iron phosphate as well. Those are old batteries and they're great. They're working. You know, those are the ones that have super long life and stuff. But they're kind of heavy and big and heavy. So I have batteries inside the luggage compartment in my Samba. So I want to take those off and put them all in there. And that's the project that I just need to get done. But again, it's money. It's a money issue. Any more drone footage coming? Yes. In fact, I want to learn how to color the footage, color correct, because I kind of shoot in like a sort of like in a flat profile because I don't really like the one that I used to have, which was really like vivid or whatever. But I don't really know how to do it, and I actually sent a few messages to other YouTubers that are doing a good job at doing that. And I thought, hey, you want to collaborate? Come show me how to color, how to do the color on this stuff, and then we'll do that. But yeah, definitely, the drone is part of the arsenal of tools to be able to shoot all these videos that I'm trying to do. So yeah, expect to see more. In fact, some of the technical stuff, like I want to also share some of the tips that I'm learning as to how to, droning is becoming a thing, and it gets a lot of views, and the community is huge and stuff, and it's something that I'm interested. I actually didn't like those people that used to be all into drones, like the drone guy, oh, here comes the specialist with a drone. But little by little, I'm like becoming, right? So, it turns out it's a flying camera. That's why I love it. It's like never before had we had that or whatever. Let's see. I just meant a plug and play power wall, so you don't have to own the house or to install or make one. I just want to plug and play power wall. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. There's nothing. I mean, I think there are some regulations where you have to get like a permit if you're plugging it into the grid and stuff. But I don't know. You'll have to check every place is different when it comes to laws and stuff. But yeah, in fact, there are some. You can do like little systems where it's a battery and then a little charger and a inverter, and all in a tiny little package. And for example, you plug it in between the wall and your TV, right? And then it charges the battery during off-peak hours, and then during peak hours or whenever you watch the TV, and it just uses the energy stored from the little battery. So there's going to be a lot of those like systems, small systems like that, and I think you don't have to get any permits to do that, and they're plugged into the grid. They're plugged into your service or whatever. So yeah, there's definitely ways of doing that. Oh my god, let me let the dogs out so they don't bark. Hey, no barking. All right, these guys are crazy. So okay, let's go. You could make a mini wall for cars that would need portable power to charge phones, tablets, and more, and recharge the power bank off solar. Yeah, those already exist. There's a ton of those systems that are just batteries. They're called power packs, or there's something like that, right? Let's see. Mic is working good. How many electric miles have you put on the Samba? I think all of them since I've ever owned it, right? So I want to see I'm close to 20,000 miles already. Because the thing doesn't work. The cable, some happened. I haven't fixed it in a long time, and so it's not counting the miles that I'm running, right? So I just have to fix that. I was curious, although you probably already answered this, what did you do with the 1860 battery banks you were making? I know you made the extended range trailer, but they're on my wall, and they're in that thing with the glass and stuff. They're just there, waiting for me to get to them and finish that project. AJ, you have any idea when the overall video for the Ghia is complete? As soon as I'm done, I'm thinking I'll have some time to work on. Hey! Hold on. No barking. No barking. Come on. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to get you guys outside. Come on. Outside. Yeah, outside. No, outside. Now they can jump and bark outside all they want. They need a little bit of sun anyways. Okay, let's go. Where are we? What are your thoughts on an electric Jeep? An electric Jeep is a cool thing. I actually might work on one coming here in a few weeks. Yeah, if you guys look in some of the older videos, you might see glimpses of it or whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be a cool one. It's like a classic one, like one of those. A CJ. Which one is CJ5 or CJ7? What is like with the postal ones from like the 70s or whatever? It's pretty cool. New to your channel, I gather from some of your videos you had videos on how to build the Samba, but you had to take them down. Any chance you can edit a new to share? No, I think I put every single one of those videos up now. There was an issue at the time, but all those are gone, and I have every video up. So yeah, it's kind of segmented. I should probably put a video together explaining the whole thing in a more concise way. That's another video that it should be on my list right now to put up. Are you gonna put solar panels on your Samba? No, not until I can figure out how to do it in a way that they look good, because they're really not worth it. They just don't put enough power to make it worth the ugliness of the panel thing, For a person who has never made an electric, do you have any tips? Just do it. Don't be afraid to just get your hands dirty. You don't have to be a car guy. I'm not really a car guy. I don't really know anything about electronics. I really don't know anything about mechanics. You just gotta want to do it, and if you have the desire, you're gonna figure it out. It's actually super easy. It's not that hard. 89 watching, only 20 likes. 20 or 46 likes now. Yeah, they heard you, Vapor Garage Hawaii. Joshua says, so I want to thank you for inspiring me. I'm looking to start conversion of an all F100 soon. You have any thoughts on doing one yourself? I don't know what the F100 looks like, but do it. My thought is that why not? If there isn't one that's already made, you're gonna be the first one, and it's even better. Let's see here. Along with that, how much would we be taking in terms of price, so I know what I need to save? Oh man, I don't remember. Oh, which one are the Oh, I didn't answer your question, Ethan. Hello, I've recently become very interested in the Gia conversion that you help out with with EV West. How long would you estimate it would take for a person with zero conversion experience to finish? It just depends. Like if you, I was able to do it. Well, I guess I can't say that I have little experience because I already done it, right? But um, it's hard to say because I don't know. Like you don't have to fabricate anything at this point, right? Like that kid that comes in that, yeah, it's pretty much done. I mean, we had to make some like plastic things to cover the batteries to make them look good because that was gonna be like a show car and stuff. But as far as getting it to run and stuff, like yeah, there's is drilling a few holes and putting them together, running cable, and like redoing the cable thing so that it was easier. To tell the truth, 50% of the time of us is like looking for tools and how do you guys do that? Where's the jack? How do you jack up the car in this shop? Because it's not my shop. It was, they have a process on how to do stuff. But if you're at home, yeah, man, it's simple. I'd say you can do it in like in a month. If you're never done one, you can totally do it in a month. Yeah, especially once I put out the video, because then you'll be able to follow like step by step. It's like all the stuff that you have to scratch your head and figure out. I'm gonna break it down for you and tell you this is what you should do. This is what I did, and so yeah, it should be pretty easy. And as far as how much would talking about in price, so how much you need to save, it's changing, right? But I know it's about. So that was, how many batteries did we put on that one? 12 modules, right? So that's like 10 grand worth of batteries plus another $7,000. So yeah, you're looking about, like $18,000 worth of parts. But of course, those prices are changing, and the biggest expense is the battery. It's also changing. So that could change depending on when you do it. If you do it right now, that's the price. But if you do it, you know, next year, then it might be half that, or less than that. Do you have solar in your house? No, I don't, because I don't own this home right here. I actually don't own my own home. I'm renting, and so I can't I can't install stuff here. And the owner of this place is he doesn't really care about these tenants, so he's not gonna do it. How do you get the drive and ideas to vlog and make your day interesting? I don't know. It's just something that I have. I've always had it. I mean, I've always been interested in video and like producing content and stuff, right? Maybe sometimes I look like I'm excited about it because I finally am able to get into it. It's like been wanting to do this for a very long time, and now I'm at a place in my life where I'm like, screw it. If I don't do it now, I never get to do it. So I'm just gonna go for it, and it's not easy. Of course, it's super hard. Sometimes you don't feel like making videos. Sometimes you just want to sit and watch a movie or whatever. But you kind of have to do it. Like right now, I have to go work, but I'm like, no, I hate doing that. I can't wait till the day I don't have to do that, And I'd rather struggle with making videos all day, any day, than have to struggle with doing office work, which is totally, even in the best days, is half as fun as doing this. Okay, Alejandro Cervantes asks, what is the cost of a full conversion to electric? So it's somewhere around $20,000 right now for a small car like a Ghia, like a Bug. The classic cars, pre-74s here in California, then you don't have all those other things that are complicated conversion, like power steering, like vacuum stuff and AC and all this other nonsense, right? So the classic cars are really the easiest because everything's manual and you don't have to worry about that stuff. And you don't have to worry about smogging them or changing. You don't even have to tell the DMB that you change them. I didn't. Mine is still registered as a gas car. You just, it just doesn't have a gas tank. It is late in Croatia. I need to sleep. Okay, so Thomas is going away. Thank you for stopping by, Thomas. I understand volts, amps, and watts, but I get confused between energy storage of kilowatt hours versus amp hours. can you explain this to a newbie? Well, amp hours is just half of the story, right? It's the same thing. And amp hour is just capacity, but it's really, so it's the amount of amps that you can pull out of a battery in 1 hour. So it's really not the whole energy, right? You still need the volts. Like, if you're using like a low voltage system, then your cells are going to have to be much bigger. So your amp hours are going to have to be really big. Like, for example, I have 450 amp hours worth of cells. There's not a single cells. There's cells that are in parallel, right? But the reason why they have to be so big like that is because I'm running kind of a low voltage system. But if I were to run twice as high of a voltage, then my cells don't have to be that big. They can be smaller. So the typical, like, okay, so let's take Tesla, for example, right? They have 74 cells. They're 3.7. Let's see. Let's see. So they have 74 cells in parallel, right? And each one is 3.4 amps. So each cell, each individual groups of cells that makes one cell, right? It's 250 amp hours. So see, they're about half of the amp hours that I have on the Samba, but they have twice as much energy because they have higher voltage. So they're running like 96 cells or almost 100 cells, where I'm only running 30 cells. So yeah, amp hours is just half of the story. It's half of the energy stored in there. You can't really tell how much energy is stored just by knowing the amp hour rating. You have to look at the watt hours. Watt hours is a more complete story. But the amp hour is useful for a bunch of other reasons, like a bunch of other things, like saying like how much energy a battery can deliver at whatever rate you want. So usually batteries are rated in a C rating, and a C rating is usually like, at least with the lithium batteries, is like 3 Cs, right? If they're not lipos or whatever. And so that's usually 3 times their capacity. And so if you have a 100 amp hour cell and it's rated at 3 Cs, then it could safely deliver 300 amp hours, 300 amps. So that's why the amp hour is important to have on the cells. All right, let's see. Hopefully that answered a little bit of your question. Oh my God, there's 96 of you watching now. I don't want to skip any important ones. Okay, so Smoking LT says your idea with the UPS inverter works. I've got it working here. There you go. See, someone else proved it for me. Jehuay, please do a video breaking down the parts of an EV. The Gia one is gonna have that laid out pretty straightforward. I have a picture, and I have like an aerial picture where they're all laid down, and I go each one by one and tell you what they are and what it's called and what does it do. I have a smart 451 electric car. My warranty will be up in 2018. Any suggestions what I can do after that? No, sorry, I'm not familiar with the smart 451 electric car, but if it's still running, I don't know, why would you want to change it? LFR 343 says, do you build power walls for people, and how much? I'm Hispanic like you. I'm in Texas, and I would love the opportunity to speak with you and discuss the opportunities. No, I don't. I just built mine as an experiment. That's all I do. I kind of just explore the ideas. I didn't see anybody else doing a DIY. I saw a lot of those batteries going to the trash, right? Even though they still have energy in there, and so that's why I decided to do that one video and that one project and stuff. But yeah, I have no interest in actually doing that for a living and doing the thing. There are some videos of electric Jeeps on YouTube. Very cool. Huh. I haven't seen any of those. Maybe you should link them down here if you have. Someone in Spanish says, Francis Ian, hola, ¿cuánto tiempo te lleva para dar carga total las baterías de tu combi? He's asking how much time it takes to charge my battery in my Samba. Mi Samba tiene 44 kilowatt hours. Kilowatt horas de energía a 5 kilowatts por hora. Me toma como 11 horas cargarla completa. Desde que está completamente descargada hasta que está completa. So my Samba has got 44 kilowatt hours of battery, and I have a 5 kilowatt charger, onboard charger, and so 5 kilowatts per hour takes about 11 plus hours from a completely dead battery from 0 state charge to 100 state, right? So it's not the fastest, but of course I can also always throw like a second charger, and then it makes it a 10 kilowatt charger, and I can charge in half of that time. So it just depends how big your charger can be. Just typically the biggest plug that are out there, it's the NEMA 1450s, right? Those are for the RVs, though it can supply 11 kilowatts per hour. And so a single plug in your home that you can install in your home could do about 11 kilowatts per hour. After that, you can do more, of course, because most houses have more service by having a second plug and plugging another one, and having multiple chargers do that. So yeah, it depends just how fast you want to charge your batteries. It just costs more because you'll need more equipment or bigger equipment. Is the streaming on Twitch as well? No, I don't have a Twitch account. I think that's for gaming, right? I have never made an account for that. Let's see here. What 3D printer do you use? Oh, actually, that's Michael bought a couple of them, and they're like open source, and you kind of buy the parts, and they come in a kit, and he puts it together. I'll do a video about that because he's making some cool parts. I think I want to do a video where like he prints a mock-up motor, like a whole like full-size AC50, motor, because the one that he just built is big enough to be able to print that. So yeah, it should be pretty cool doing a video on that. Hey, Michael Bertrand. Hey, welcome. Have you ever got sap from your battery pack? Just little things here and there, never full on, because it's low, it's low voltage, so it's not, you touch a couple of you can almost touch the entire battery pack, and if your hands are dry, you won't feel it, it's only till like you're sweaty or whatever, and you start touching stuff, you start feeling tingles here and there and stuff, but yeah, dead short is actually pretty dangerous because the low voltage has a lot of power behind it. They can put a lot of power out, a lot of amperage. By the way, Michael, I just saw that picture you posted on Facebook about your triple motor. Michael, those of you that don't know, he has what do you have, a 911? You have a 911 that has 3 motors, triple motors, he did AC50s. So that's a pretty cool project there. Let's see, what else have we got here? When and where would you do a meetup for all of us to meet you? I think the best place to do that would be down in EV West. It's about 80 miles south of me, but it would be the best place. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for you guys to see. Yeah, we could definitely schedule something coming up. One of these events or whatever. Also, another thing, if you guys are in LA area this whole week, the LA Auto Show is showing one of those cars, that Ghia that I did. I am going to go. When did I say I was gonna go? I think I'm gonna be there Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So if you have none, I know Thanksgiving, you should be with family and stuff, but for some reason you want to go, and I think we're gonna do sort of in the morning, right? I'm gonna be there at the LA Auto Show, down in the second level or something, in the garage. I think that's what it's called. There's gonna be there's like 4 BWs that are converted by its electric. And so that would be a good place to hang out if you guys want to meet there. If you are in the LA area, of course. Let's see. Do you know there's a tsunami in Japan right now? Ooh, 7.4. No, I didn't know. That sucks. Hopefully everybody's safe. If you are in Japan, make sure you go to your designated area so you can be safe. Any thoughts on other ideas on what to use 18650 batteries on apart from the EV and Powerwalls? I've been harvesting cells and checking them, so I've been new and fun, but no idea what to use these. You can use them for pretty much anything. You can make a 12-volt battery for your car. You can make power banks to charge your phones. You can make. Hey, it's getting kind of dark in here. Let me just turn this light. Let's see. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. I guess it takes that long to turn on a light. Anyways, yeah, you can use batteries for pretty much anything. It's just batteries. Batteries are batteries, and we need them every day. We're using more and more of them. Let's see. Oh man, tsunami at Fukushima again? Oh geez. I hope everything is okay. Let's see. Oh, there we go. 1 meter height. Wow. Yeah, I hope everything works out. I hope I think that plan was still operational. I hope it doesn't spill more radioactive stuff. 97 people watching now. Whoa, okay, just jumped. Answer my then question. How many miles of range do your solar panels on the roof of that Scion XP give you? Funny. Michael is watching the thing. He's asking how many. Yeah, I think those are 0. Not only are they super small, but from what people are commenting here, those panels are like old. And ugly, not to say that. I mean, look, I guess, who am I to say what's ugly or whatever, right? People think the Samba looks like a like a loaf of bread or whatever, which I agree or whatever. But, yeah, not that many. I guess we're going to find out next week when we can plug it all in and we get it going. Let's see. Steve Taylor says, on the black Baja Bug, I saw Michael installing batteries onto the rear deck behind the seat. They look like they snapped together. What were those? They're mystery batteries. They're just batteries that we can't, that we can't get our hands on yet or whatever. We don't. Yeah, I don't know. Michael, it's like Michael's got connections and stuff, and he can't. We just can't talk about where those batteries come from and stuff because it's just we're not allowed or whatever. So this is the first project that we're going to try them on, and from what it seems in the original in that little, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to EV West what is it, Instagram account. He posted yesterday that Bug probably doing his first burnout or whatever, so it looks pretty good. It's probably gonna be really fun. I'm probably by now that Bug has been in that dirt field that was on the back, which by the way, Michael, like, you gotta wait till I bring the drone out there so that we can get it out there, because that's gonna be pretty cool. With the Tesla charging, to pay for charging, would your vehicle be able to hook up to a Tesla charging station? No, Tesla has their own thing, proprietary technology, so they don't allow other people to charge their. Now we can probably hack something and fake our way in there, but of course now with so many Teslas that are going to be trying to charge and stuff, it's not going to be easy, and they're probably not going to be happy to see some other car pulled up there taking their spot, right? Can you make a video of you making an e-bike? Yeah, whenever we make an e-bike, I'll make a video about it. Let's see. Oh man, okay, so let's see. Meet up in Los Angeles, Oswaldo Zuniga says. Let's do a learn and lunch at EV West. There you go. Let's do it. Where is the EV board project you were going to make? Yeah, that's sitting there on the other room. I should get to that today, but I decided to make a video instead. A live Q&A. What's the cheapest car that I can make electric on a college budget? Well, all you need is a car that rolls good, like it has good suspension, and it doesn't even have to look pretty or have good paint or any of that stuff. As you know, I like the old stuff, right? Like, if my bus had original paint, I probably would just not paint it. I would just leave the original paint, even if it was like crusty or whatever. But because it does have the body work and it's got the the primer, I probably will end up painting it. But yeah, I mean, all you need is a car that you like and that you don't mind putting some money into and getting it working. Yeah, there's stuff that you can pick up for almost nothing. Try to get some classics so you don't have to spend too much time like doing all those other systems, like the AC and the power steering and all that other stuff. I know there's downsides to driving an old car, like the safety is one of them or whatever, but yeah, it's just a possibility. If you're on a budget, that's the way to do it. Let's see. Did I get my under 4,000? Wow, I don't know, man. Danny, you $4,000 don't even buy you the parts to convert into electric. That buys you like the motor, and that's about it. So if you can find I mean, even if you were to find a car for free, you wouldn't get the batteries. So let's see. So Michael says the Baja batteries are amazing. So I take it the blobs of solder that we put on those things haven't come undone, huh? That's good news. Let's see. Where am I? I got lost here in the things. Let me find another one. So Danny's asking now for electric car under 5,000. He's going up a little. Oh, you're gonna have to go up a little more there. Don't you think the weight of the panels doesn't justify them? I mean, how much energy can you pull out from them against the energy you lose because of the weight? Greetings from Peru. Yeah, solar panels don't weigh that much. I mean, some can. I think traditional ones, they can, because they have the glass, right? But there are some now that don't have that glass. They're just laminated and they don't weigh much. So, I mean, they do produce more energy than they're worth in their weight, but they're still not worth it. I think the amount of money you pay for them and the amount of energy that you're going to put into the car, it's not going to be enough. Especially like in my car doesn't sit out in the sun all day. Like maybe if you had a car where you sat there, had a big roof, and it sat there for hours on end, it would be worth it. But at least for my application, it's not worth it. Ed Lids Colleen started watching your videos, inspired me to go back to school. Now halfway to getting a journeyman certificate. Oh, wow. Journeyman in what? What are you learning there? Okay, William STEM Network says, why didn't you opt for Model S batteries instead of the lithium iron phosphate? Well, at the time when I started my project 3 years ago, there was virtually no Model S batteries, and they were like $30,000 for them. So it was just a thing. It was a matter of money. The lithium iron phosphate was available, and so that's why I bought the original set, or about the first half of my battery was bought then, and it was a good price. Now, yeah, it's cheaper to buy just used Model S batteries. So who knows? Maybe that's what I'm gonna end up putting on the Samba. Ooh. Why not email LG Chem to get their LG 18650 at a lower cost per unit? Yeah. Yeah, that's a way. If you really want those batteries, that could be done. But usually those big companies don't deal with little people, like with the small guys like us. Is there a way to put an electric motor on one of my back wheels of a Toyota van 2003 to help me on highway using my cruise control? There is a way, actually. I've seen a YouTube video where a guy does that, and he's just got his car, and then he's got this motors on the back wheels, and so it's a hybrid, and he only uses those motors kind of like to take off, because that's really when the cars use the most energy and they're the most inefficient, right? It's at acceleration, and so the electric motors, they shine there. So they only provide, like, I don't know, a percentage of the power to accelerate the car. But I mean, it's a small motor and a small battery pack and a small controller. People do it. People have done it, and in fact, I mean, most of those hybrids that we see, they work in one of those principles, So you can do it. Your old man is wandering into the frame. That was my dad, yeah. Let's see here. I'm late. Hey, Jehu. Hey, HB Powerwall. From all the way from Australia. Is the Nedcane Warp 9 a good electric motor? Yeah, they're good. They were all that people used to use back in the day. Right now, I think it was dethroned by the AC50 because it's a better motor for a daily driver vehicle. But Warp 9s are good for, they give you the most bang for your buck when it comes to torque. They just do require more. They just require a little bit more maintenance, right? Because those brushes, they go and stuff. So, but yeah, that's a good motor. I already have 200 plus 18650 for projects. That's Griffiths Kista. Oh man, how come all your names are so hard to pronounce? It's me or is? Let's see. Michael Schmidt. Would you consider going all electric as autonomous from the grid and fossil fuels as an experiment, even by adding solar panels, collecting the energy into battery packs? Oh man, I just didn't understand that question. Would you consider going all electric as autonomous from the grid and fossil fuels as an experiment? Yeah. I mean, with as DIY as possible. Oh man, is it me? Maybe my brain is not working, but I didn't understand that question. Piedmont Wade says, what is the difference in the interference fit adapter versus the key adapter? Does that motor run smoother? Driving experience with the updated adapter? Oh yeah, it's a lot better. Well, so I had a wonky adapter, right? Because it was called the it's a taper lock, right? So the more you tighten the certain screws, it would pull in there, and it was tapered, and so it would lock it. It pressed more into the thing. But I didn't know what I was doing when I installed it originally, so I cut it. I cut parts that I didn't have to cut because I thought it didn't fit or whatever. So I kind of ruined it, right? I mean, it still worked enough for me to drive it for 3 years or whatever. But it was never perfect. There was always like wobbly. I could hear like some rattlings and stuff, and it might have not been the coupler. It might have just been like the pressure plate definitely was bad because it had the center thing that was wobbly also. But the cool thing about the interference fit couplers is that there's zero play with those, so they actually don't fit the shaft. And so when you heat them up and then you install them, once they fit there, there's absolutely zero play, zero lash, and those are not gonna go anywhere. And so there's less stuff. They're smaller in diameter, and there's less mass moving and stuff. They're just a better design coupler, I think. And so at least on my sound, it made a huge difference. And I know not 100% of that difference it was the coupler or whatever. It was also the pressure plate, and it was a new one, right, which is more balanced. And then there was the flywheel, and yeah, definitely a huge difference on my bus. I guess I didn't really think how much I was being hindered by all the, like, I don't like to hear the motor, and so at a certain RPMs I would start hearing, so I would always back off, and which kept me going at a lower speed, right? But this time coming back, I almost used my entire battery, right? I've gotten up to 160 miles of range, and Michael's only, EV-Wit's only 80 miles away. And this last trip that I came, I was coming so fast that I almost didn't make it. I used up my entire battery in half the mileage that I usually get. And the reason is because it just was so smooth. And I mean, I was just flying. It was kind of late. There was not a lot of people in the freeway. I was just flying for 80 miles, going really fast. But yeah, it does make a difference. I think it's the way to go with the interference fit coupler. That's the only reason for putting solar cells on EV is to keep the 12-volt battery charged. Yeah, right now it does make sense that they can do that. Joanna, wow, Joanna, we have a female watching, a girl. Can you give a quick indication about how long it will take before you step it up and we can order the bendy pots instead of pre-order? Well, as soon as I get them in stock, right? Like I have right now waiting for a quote from a second shop, from a second machine shop. So it's just taking me a while to get that stuff in there. I'm trying to get the best price and to really get those down to. I want to say, yeah, probably within a month, and the next 5 weeks, I think they will be in stock, and then I'll be able to sell them. This first order that I'm gonna get, it's gonna be more than what I've sold, so I am gonna have stock available as soon as those come in. And so yeah, just sorry it's taking so long, guys, but definitely it's gonna be worth it when you guys get your little tripods. It's gonna be cool, a cool tripod. Let's see. Oh man, where are we? Okay, let's see. Next time you head up the coast, hit me up. I've got 30 amp plug outside, so you can top it off. I'm 30 miles south of Carp. Carp? I wonder where Carp is. But yeah, I'll take you up on that, Patrick. I always need plugs. And as you guys know from the last video, I did finish plugging in my J1772 little chip, so I can't charge from the public stations quite yet. Christopher Coronel says, since Donald Trump won the election and knowing his opinion about energy and climate change, how do you think it's gonna be the future for renewable energies and electric cars? Greetings from Peru again. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's like it's like, who knows? Like I know it's easy to think that the president of the United States has power and he can actually make change, but remember that Remember that Obama wanted to close Guantanamo Bay, right? And I think he really wanted to, and he couldn't do it in 8 years in office. So I think the best thing that can happen is that in reality the president doesn't have any power, and so nothing's gonna happen, nothing's gonna change. Because he's just a puppet. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping that not much is gonna happen. That at the very least we are making headway here in California. Actually, we live like in this bubble. Like every time you get on the road and every corner, you see a Model S, you see a bunch of Leafs, you see Chevy Volts, you see. So if you were here and you didn't know that the world was much bigger than here in California, you would think that we're already there. It's like, oh, half of the cars are electric already. It's like every other rooftop here has solar already and stuff. And so you kind of tend to forget that it's not the way that it is in the entire world, right? It's just in this little bubble that we're here in California. But yeah, I think if anything, we are making progress at the very least here in California, and so if it extends to other states, it's going to be good. Hopefully, yeah, he doesn't do much damage when it comes to that. And I guess that's the only thing that you can do is hope for the best at this point. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so Michael Schmidt is asking me, sorry, let me ask again. Would you consider doing a project where you set a goal to become non-dependent on the grid and non-dependent on fossil fuels, and accomplishing that as a DIY as possible? Yeah, that would be pretty cool, and it wouldn't be that hard at this point. It's like, I want to make a video about the fact that net metering is not the answer, right? Because you have to depend on someone else. You have to depend on the power companies. You have to depend on the government forcing the power companies to pay you back. And it's really not a sustainable business, right? Because the power companies are not really in the business of buying power at retail, right? They buy at a lower, their business model that makes sense is you buy cheap and you sell higher, So net metering is not going to be the thing. It was just the thing that it existed for a time. I think it's still it's still happening here in California, right? But it's going to go away. And so really the answer is to have your own batteries, is to make your own power during the day and then use it whenever you want, because it's stored in batteries or any other type of storage, right? But batteries is the ones that make sense. And so it's not that hard. I think it would be easy to do a DIY thing where you make your own power and then you live there and then you drive your own electric car, right? So I'm halfway there, right? We here at home, we use very, very little fossil fuels when it comes to transportation. My wife does have a Chevy Volt, but most of the time she's riding around on electric mode, right? Every once in a while we go on a trip. This week we're gonna go on a trip, so then we are gonna have to use fossil fuels. But as far as that, we're almost there. At least me, the only thing is the electricity, and I don't have solar panels and I don't have the Powerwall because I just can't afford that right now. Let's see. Where are we? Let me see. What else? Oh, I think Carpinteria. Oh, yeah, if you're in Carpinteria, that's my way that I usually take. South would be Ventura. Yeah, Carpinteria. Yeah, Patrick, you're not far away from Richard. Hugo. For the cars. Let's see. Greetings from Joshua Tree. Look at that. Hey, Joshua Tree is pretty cool. I like that. That desert. Will you ever convert a sports car to an EV? Yeah, I think so. I think maybe one day I'll, we'll we'll do a Porsche, or we'll do something cool, Um, let's see, where are we? The Samba, the first choice, or did you have something else in mind? No, the Samba was my first choice because I've always liked that car, and I wanted a car for our business to, like, to, it's like a company car, with to put the logo and all the stuff. It didn't turn out to be that, and I ended up, leaving, just changing the strategy, and making it like my personal car, but yeah, I wanted electric and stuff, and whatever car I was gonna get, it was gonna be electric, and it just happened that if I was gonna spend a bunch of money, it would be in a car that I like, and the Samas, I always liked them. Uh, so let's see here. Pete Midway says, Christopher Coronel, all will be fine, and it's up to the people to keep it going. Oh, as far as the thing, yeah. Is your Samba quicker than stock Samba? Yes, it is. You can look at a video that I made in which I beat another bus. Uh, where a good place to find electric engines? That a thing about pimping out the 1992 Acura Legend, the greatest car ever built. Yeah, you want to convert an Acura Legend? Yeah, go for it. Again, you can go to EV West. They sell all the parts that you need to convert pretty much any car. Oh man, Jason, and I'm getting ready to build a power system for Governor Brown in California. Ooh, get ready to build an off-grid power system for the governor, huh? There you go. See, he knows something. We should take note. Where's the number of viewers? 84. Oh man, 84. I lost a few. 2 in the morning here. Time to go to sleep. So, oh, message retracted. I didn't know you guys could retract messages. I live in an area of the USA where our cars are often have overhead ears, and we have kerosene TVs. Overhead ears, and we have kerosene TVs? Oh man, where do you live? That sounds like an interesting place. Thank you, Jay, who consider the fact that something like that empowers people around the world. We're not having a reliable grid is a serious limitation. Thank you for answering my question. Oh, thank you for asking. Do you think Donald Trump is going to be the greatest president ever on earth? I think he will be. We'll see. That's all we can hope now, that he steps up and does a good job. Let's see. I live off grid, and it is complex to charge your electric car at night off batteries. It really works better with the grid. It really, wait, so, and it is complex. No, I mean, it's not really that complicated. You just need big equipment. Actually, yeah, you just need a DC to DC. Actually, some of our chargers, the DIY charger that I had, would actually charge from DC to DC, so you didn't need any special equipment. My car was once outfitted with the proper equipment to charge from one battery to another battery, which was pretty cool. Of course, that didn't work out, and I had to use the one that I have right now, which, it might not be that hard to do that on that one, too. Do you work at UV West? I know you have your camera supply company. No, I mean, yeah, I know we're doing stuff together, but I don't know. I'm not 100% down there, right? We're gonna be doing a thing where I go over there often, and we do stuff when we do projects and stuff. What happened to that white SUV you had on your own garage? That thing was abandoned by the owner, and it was towed by the city, and it was probably sold on auction now. And yeah, the guy just lost interest, didn't even want to pick it up. So I put it outside, and he told me he was gonna come pick it up. He never did, and it's gone. It was a perfect. It was a perfect candidate to be, electrified, but I don't know. He lost interest. He spent money somewhere else or whatever. So let's see. How do you charge when you travel? Do you just run an extension cord out of your motel room? Yeah, usually I stayed at an RV park because they have big plugs, and then you can spend the night there, right? RV parks are for you to spend the night. Yeah, so yeah, at this point you still have to kind of plan your trips because it takes a long time to charge. Do you know how much it would cost to make a 1997 Tacoma single cab electric? No, but I figured that it'd be somewhere around the same $20,000 to $25,000 worth of parts plus labor if you don't want to do it yourself. 8 kilowatt panels, how big are they? That would be big. About how long does it take you or EV West to convert a car? Depends. Depends what kind of a car, if it's, like a Bug or a Ghia or whatever, those are simple, easy. There's nothing really to manufacture anymore. Like all the parts are kind of available, and you just bolt them on. It took me about 5 weeks, but it was me coming and going and stuff, and I don't know. I think EV West takes like a month or a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. Yeah, and that's just because they're so busy, and the cars sit there for a long time until they can get to them and stuff. But yeah, I think it's about a 1 to 2 months turnaround right now, I think, for a car. What kind of batteries do you? Oh man, that thing just it just jumped. Oh, here we go. I ended up in the same one. What batteries do you recommend for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house and off-grid living? Suggest you get a subscription to Home Power magazine and read. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It really doesn't. The size of the house is really not important here. It's just how much energy do you use. If you are, I mean, I don't know. I see, like, let's say if you were to use 20 kilowatt hours per day, right? Which I think somewhere where I'm at, I think I'm like 25 kilowatt hours per day. I think a perfect setup would be like twice that or something, like, so two days worth of batteries, right? So 50 kilowatt hours. Put them in your garage. If you get some of these Tesla ones, they're nice and small and light, and you can put them in the wall, and they wouldn't get in your way. I think that would be a perfect scenario there, right? So you have a little bit of buffer if one day is like cloudy or whatever, there's not enough light to create enough power, then you still have a little bit of headroom or whatever. And then you would use the grid as a backup, if for some reason there's just not enough light for 2 days and you needed more power, then you could also flip a switch and then you were there. Yeah, I mean, it would be kind of expensive to do a 50 kilowatt hour pack, but I think it would be worth it and it'd pay for itself, right? And then the other thing is if you have about 2 days, then you're not cycling those batteries like every day, so it would add to the life of the battery. Let's see. Steve Taylor says, I saw your video where you explained mistakes you made with your business. Your honesty was cool. Do you see yourself transitioning out of the camera world into the EV world completely? Yeah, I mean, I'm on my way out from the camera world, but I'm not really moving into the EV world. I want to do the video thing here on YouTube, and right now it's actually pretty much almost paying my bills, and so I want to do that. I want to create content and stuff, and it's just not, my interests just are more varied than just electric cars. Electric cars play a big part right now. I'm interested in that, and I'm doing a lot of stuff because it comes easy to me, and it's cool stuff to be involved. But I have so many more interest to do other stuff, to videos about other stuff and content about other stuff. So that's where I'm heading into. So let's see. Your name sounds like Yahoo slogan if you say it just right. Yep. Do you still think it is cheaper to make your own battery banks out of 18650 batteries, or should I just get Tesla batteries? At this point, yeah, it's getting easier to just get Tesla batteries, right? Because they're coming down in price and they're becoming, more available, because every day there's Teslas that end up in the junkyard. And so yeah, unless you can get them, by the way, it is a thing, people are getting batteries for free, because laptop batteries are not always, you don't always have to get them. So if you have a source of batteries, it'd totally be worth it, but it's still pretty labor intensive to break them apart and put them in the thing and arrange them and solder them and do all that stuff. It just depends who you are. If you have more money than time, then yeah, buying just a pack of Tesla batteries would be easier and cheaper, and a better choice. If you have more time than money, then yeah, you might be able to hunt some large quantities of free batteries or next to free batteries and do all the work yourself and still be able to reuse them. But that's the thing is that if you don't do it, then those all the batteries are going to end up in the trash, before they're completely done, and it would be a shame. So yeah, I think even someone should do it, someone should save those batteries from the trash and from the recycling, from an early recycling thing. And so I guess it's not just about money, right? I know it is, on a personal level, it is just about money, but I think someone should do it. Let's see. I saw some video in which you showed Tesla batteries. Is there any project where you use double engine of a Tesla together with the transmission of a car? No, not yet, but that might come. I think Michael is working on something with that Tesla motor that he has there. Well, it probably is not going to be a double motor because it doesn't need to be double. That motor's got 500 horsepower, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting, that project. What is your view on Tesla's new solar roof panels? I think they're great. I think I should do some DIY version of that, right? Because why not? Because why not? I always thought about that. I'm like, the solar panels are kind of ugly. They put them up there. They're, if it was like, if the solar panels cover your entire house, then it would be okay. It's like, your roof is, dark black, dark blue or whatever the colors of the panels are. But it never works that way. It's always like just partially, just big panels in the front of the thing, and you see all the conduits going to and stuff. I always thought, there's got to be a way to make custom panels that just cover your entire roof, and so that's what you get with the tiles, and they shouldn't be too hard to make. I think it's just a piece of glass, and some solar cells, which I have some, and I never really did anything with them. I should play with them and stuff. Let's see. Please don't forget the BMS explanation. Oh yeah. So people are asking what the BMS is in that last video, right? So BMS is basically just a computer that's supposed to take care of your batteries. It's supposed to prevent your batteries from going too low of a voltage or going too high of a voltage, right? Or get in balance, right? If any of the groups starts moving away in the voltage, then that's what the computer is there for. The problem is, of course, that even though the OEMs they have well-designed systems and stuff, there really isn't anything out there in the market. And I know someone posted the names of some of the BMSs that are good, that are like third party or whatever. But I'm like, well, I never heard of them. The only one that he said, the one that is not good, is the only one that I've actually heard, right? And so that's the thing. the thing is that there's really not that much incentive for us to try BMSs, because the myth is that you cannot use batteries without a BMS. That is entirely a myth. That we are proof of that. I mean, I've been using my Samba with not only batteries without a BMS, but two different chemistries, two different form factors, two different groups connected on parallel into one battery. Like that's the one. And so there's no problems. It's not like, do I check them every day to make sure that they're balanced and that they're good and they're not going to blow up? No, I don't. It's like they're just carefree. I'm just driving my Samba. Every once in a while I check them. There's no problem. The other thing is, of course, that batteries are going to last much longer if you use a BMS. And in theory, on paper, yeah, that is true. Except that in practice, I don't think that's true, because there's so many cars that have come to EV West, for example, and they have dead batteries, and they're due because of the BMS system. The system that is supposed to safeguard the batteries are the ones that kill the batteries, right? And it's either because they're badly designed or it's just the implementation. It just doesn't work. It's like in real life. And so, on paper, a BMS, well-designed BMS, good quality components, it's a safer way to use batteries, right? It's just that we have figured out to bottom balance our packs and just use them, and they're safe enough. In our eyes, they're safe enough. I know there are people that want to try and make the safest thing or whatever, right? And so it's not safe enough for them, and they'll argue, and they're usually, if they're arguing that you cannot use batteries safely without a BMS, it's people that have never made an electric car and they have zero real life experience on it, right? They've read a paper, they read the theory, and it makes sense. On paper, it makes sense. It's like, oh, a battery system, computer system to safeguard your batteries is the best way. But it doesn't transfer like that to life. We're using them, and we do certain things, and under certain conditions, you could kill your batteries, but we just try to eliminate that. It's like saying that a car is a dangerous thing, right? Because if you are going too fast, you can crash and die, right? So this is true. You just don't go fast and don't crash. Try not to crash. So it's the same thing with batteries. Try to avoid the things that are going to kill your batteries, and you'll be fine. There's hundreds and hundreds of cars from the DIY movement that have no BMS. And so if someone is arguing for a BMS, it's usually just because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know in real life, what they're talking about. They don't have real life experience, or they're actually a BMS salesman. That's what has been our experience with that. And so that's what a BMS is. And of course, that's why every time that I talk about BMS in my videos, there's tons of people that come. The internet, internet. We get it. We get it that you believe that the only way to do is through a BMS, but we don't believe that. We don't agree with that. And so, they always come and, they try to. I mean, there's people we call us idiots and irresponsible and all this other stuff, and to a certain degree we are. But you know what? We have cars and we drive them and they're fine, and not a single one has ever blown up in flames, and not a lot of batteries have been killed. We've killed batteries, but like Michael's killed batteries because he's racing in Laguna Seca. They're pushing the cars to their limits. They're like NASCAR kills engines all the time. Doesn't mean that the engines are bad, right? Or the way they use them is not a good thing. It's just they're pushing some of this technology to the limits and stuff. So let's see. How fast is my bus? Oh, my bus is fast. I mean, on it should do 100 miles an hour. You know, I don't want to do that because it would be responsible, right? But it has the power to do it. You know, the motor goes up to 8,000 RPMs, and it still has enough torque, I think, to kind of get it to that speed. I just, you know, it's not safe because the suspension that I have and just the way that it is or whatever. That is a real great idea, DIY on the roof panels. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, maybe that's going to be my next video. My next viral video. The other one that actually did go viral, 500,000 views. Battery management system, not bowel movement smell. Put it, let's see. Put it on a to-do list. Greetings from the home of your Samba. I have to leave now. Okay, so people should leave. Another problem with balancers BMS is that they transfer like 400 milliamps or less than 1 amp between the cells, which is absolutely useless when you're draining 200 to 400 amps when driving. Yeah, I mean, the small balancing thing should work because the batteries shouldn't be that out of balance, right? I mean, we're not using any balancing schemes, and our batteries stay balanced. You know, they go up and down, they go up and down. If we're not pushing them to their limits, our batteries are kind of big, and that's how they stay there. I have a video which I explain why batteries get out of balance, right? And it's obviously explained that it's when you're pushing them above a certain threshold, like the lipos are with the on the typical application of an RC. And so we don't use our batteries that way, not in a full-size vehicle. And so the same doesn't apply to the car. And so, yeah, small 400 milliamp transfer between cells should be enough to balance the cells. So I think the balancing thing actually does work. Again, on paper it works, right? But in real life, on practice, it just doesn't work. It always gives you troubles, and it always ends up killing your batteries. You know, in fact, I might have some batteries in the garage that the smart BMS killed because I haven't checked them in I don't know how long, and I should really go and disconnect everything to make sure they don't kill them. But yeah, if they're dead, they're gonna be dead because of the BMS. If the cells did not have the BMS, they would be there no problem. And that is the case, I think, in a lot of ways. So we just don't use them. The gains. So here's the thing. The odds of the BMS saving you, they're so small in our view that they're not worth the trouble and the extra cost of installing or buying and installing that system. So we're not saying that it doesn't work. I'm just saying we're just not worth it for us, at least. Let's see. BMS is a two system together, monitored and balanced. The later is the issue. Either cannot shift enough current to balance or fails and actually kills the cells. Yeah. How can I maintain a Netgain Warp 9 motor, or how frequently should I do it? Depends how much you give it, but yeah, I think they get hot like after an hour of driving. It just overheats and you gotta change the brushes often and stuff, and it's like you have so much power that you always end up showing off and driving your car hard and stuff, and so that's really when you kill your brushes and stuff, and you end up having to change them often. Is your DIY Powerwall something you're currently using? No, it's just sitting there on my wall. I haven't really finished it, and someday I'll finish it, but so let's see. Yeah, HV Powerwall charges his bank up to 100 amps. No remotely cheap BMS is going to cope with that. Well, yeah, that's true. I started following you for the EVs. I'm doing my own conversion of an 89 Jeep Now I'm also getting into drones. Curious what software you use for video editing and why. I use Final Cut Pro because that's just the thing that came in my computer. Right, that doesn't come. You have to buy it. But yeah, we've been using Final Cut for a long time. What other battery systems do you recommend in place of the 18650? Happy Tesla owner. The past year, have some roots from Colton. Need to stop by the Cucamonga supercharger. Oh yeah, there's a charger here. I mean, there are other batteries, right? There are like there's the Leaf batteries are good and they're kind of cheap. The Chevy Volt batteries are cheap and they're plentiful. They're out there. Those are all batteries and they're similar chemistries. I think they have, yeah, they're pretty similar chemistries. I think 18650s are a little bit better or whatever, but they're different form factor, right? They're in those pouches or whatever. Those are all available and you can get them, you can use them pretty much the same way as you would use the 18650s. Did you ever try making HHO system? Oh man, I don't know what an HHO system is. Sorry. Hey Trevor Pitts, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Trevor, welcome. Did you ever finish the Rage extender for the Samba? Yes, I even used it. I went on that trip. That was just an experiment, then I put it together temporarily. Once I came back, I undid it. I disassembled it and put the batteries. I was borrowing some batteries to do that project. The ones that are in my garage right now, they're probably dead. The 3D printer, print a tile with a square hole in the middle, and solar tile. Oh yeah, you can 3D print solar tile. Greetings from Australia. Just found your channel yesterday. Currently watching all your battery videos. Thanks a lot for your channel. Hey, welcome. Let's see. Have you ever seen a modern truck converted to an EV? Yes, Michael converted a. What did he convert? It was a Ranger, a Ford Ranger. It's a pretty cool thing. There's a video on his channel. You should go check it out. evwest.com, I think is this channel called. What do you think about Casey stopping his vlogs? I think he's a loser. No, I mean, he can do whatever he wants, but yeah, it's kind of sad. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I'm kind of mad because I wanted to keep watching his videos, but I mean, I guess you have to respect him when he wants to do something else, right? I just think he should have done more. I don't know. I just think it's kind of an excuse. He's like, do more, that's his whole philosophy, right? And it's like, and then he's like, I want to do something else because I don't have time to do this, or doing this doesn't allow me to do something else. Yet he says that he's so comfortable doing his videos now, he doesn't even have to think about it. And I'm like, well, then why don't you keep making these videos, and then with the extra time that you have, you can do the other projects, right? It's like, I don't know. It's almost, just seems like it was almost just an excuse. He was bored, or I don't know. You know, like, who knows? It never is 100% what it seems. So there's probably more to it than there is. Maybe not. But whatever. He has his right to do whatever he wants. Had to step away from dinner. You have to drive on the freeway. Pete, I usually drive 60 to 70, you know, something like that. But the Samba could do much more these days. Let's see. I think I'm done here. All right, guys. I've been on for an hour. More than an hour. I started pretty much at 4, right? And it's 5:33 now. I have to, man, another day is going to be gone and I didn't do any work. But I made a video and I answered a bunch of your questions, which is always fun and it's always cool. So yeah, I mean, I guess it is work, right? It's work if this is what I'm doing now. I'm not going to get to do the work that I really hate. which is cool. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I want to thank you for subscribing and watching and liking and commenting on all the videos. I want to start doing these like more in it's like in a schedule, because I always I'm like, hey, I have a few time right now, like I have an hour right now, we can go on, and just whoever happens to be online gets to join and whatever, right? But if I set up a time, and then if I upload a video and say, or ask all your questions here, then we can just kind of go through the questions and pick the good ones, the ones that I haven't answered a bunch, or the ones that I'm more prepared to talk about and stuff. I think it would be a better experience or whatever. So we'll probably do that later. Oh yeah, look. Thank you, Jay. It's really nice to spend an afternoon with you. It's 2:35 a.m. here in Sweden. See? That's crazy. Guys, thank you for spending some time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right? Bye. And the dogs came back. Okay, how do I stop streaming? Here we go.